What happens when you lose the love of your life only to be told she never existed in the first place? This is the story of Desmond, a man haunted by the ghost of a memory he swears was real. In his own words, "My girlfriend never existed, and I still miss her. I'm not crazy. I'm not." It all began about 2 years ago, at a bar. Desmond was never one for the loud, chaotic nightlife, preferring quieter social settings. But he was there that night to support his close friend, Andrew, who was nursing a broken heart. Andrew lived by the philosophy of, to get over someone, you must get under someone new. A mentality Desmond never understood, but felt compelled to support out of loyalty. For most of the night, Desmond watched from the back as his friend attempted an awkward bird-like mating dance to impress a girl across the room. Strangely, it seemed to be working. Desmond himself wasn't looking for anyone. He'd sworn off dating to figure himself out. But that night, what he truly wanted accidentally bumped into him, spilling a gin and tonic all over his shirt. When he looked up, he saw her. She was panicking, apologizing profusely, but Desmond was simply trying to catch the breath she had stolen with her eyes. He remembers the night vividly, as if it were yesterday. After the apologies, she finally asked his name. Desmond. "Hey, Desmond, my name's Mary." They talked all night. She was wonderful. A final year psychology major with a minor in philosophy, planning to get her PhD. She loved hiking, dogs, and kids' cartoons. Her favorite thing, she said, was taking walks at night. "Everyone's asleep," she'd told him, "so it feels like the world is yours, and just yours." They talked for so long that Andrew had already left with the girl from the bar. Mary and Desmond went on their own walk that night, staying out until the sun came up. Desmond was already in love. Months went by, and everything was perfect. Their relationship existed in a peculiar bubble, almost exclusively at night, a rhythm set by their opposing schedules. They always stayed at Desmond's apartment. Mary claimed to live with 4 random roommates in a place that was constantly hosting loud parties, making it impossible for them to have any privacy. It was one of the first of many strange boundaries, details that seemed insignificant at the time. About a year into their relationship, Mary showed up at his door crying fiercely. She'd had a massive fight with her roommates, she said, and couldn't stay there any longer. Without a second thought, Desmond asked her to move in with him. His lease was ending, and he was already looking at a 2-bedroom place. She agreed. The first 3 months of living together were blissful. Desmond knew he was going to marry her. And then things started to get weird. The first major crack in the facade appeared when Desmond asked about her family. With tears in her eyes, Mary explained that her parents had died in a car wreck when she was in middle school. A semi had T-boned them on their way to pick her up from a field trip. She'd lived with her grandmother, who also passed away from cancer, just before her 18th birthday. It was strange to Desmond that she was only telling him this after a year and a half, but he talked it up to the topic's sensitivity and let it go.
Another oddity was Mary's complete social isolation. She had no friends to speak of and no interest in making them. She was a satellite that orbited only Desmond, with no other social tethers.
In the last 2 months, she grew distant. She spoke less, came home late from studying, and her appetite dwindled. Worried she was getting sick, Desmond begged her to see a doctor. After weeks of insisting she was fine, she finally relented. The appointment was set for the morning of August 1st. The morning of August 1st was the day his world fractured. He woke to the alarm, but Mary wasn't in bed beside him. She wasn't anywhere in the apartment. Their car was still parked outside. A knot of fear began to tighten in his stomach. He reached for his phone to call her, but when he opened his contacts, her name was gone. Confused, he dialed her number manually, only to be met with a cold, automated voice. "This line has been disconnected or is no longer in service." His mind spiraling, he called his best friend, Andrew, expecting sympathy. What he received was the first terrifying blow to his sanity. After Desmond frantically explained that Mary had left, Andrew's response was simple and devastating. "Who's Mary?" Andrew swore he had no idea who Mary was, insisting Desmond hadn't dated anyone since his last girlfriend, Jessica. A frantic search began. Desmond sped to her college, only to be told by the receptionist that no student named Mary Fulbright had been registered there in the past 5 years. The psychology professor Mary had supposedly studied under for 2 years had never heard of her. As a last resort, Desmond turned to his phone's photo gallery, his final bastion of proof. But as he scrolled, he witnessed a horrifying digital cleansing. Every picture of her, every selfie she'd sent, was gone. Photos he knew they took together now featured only him, smiling alone, his arm often resting on an invisible shoulder. In a final desperate call to his mother, who he was sure had met Mary dozens of times, he was met with the same soul-crushing question. "Mary who, sweetie?" In the week that followed, Desmond searched for any evidence of her existence. Her belongings were gone from the apartment. The lease had only his signature. He was on the verge of checking himself into a mental hospital, defeated, until he saw it. A single photo, one he'd overlooked. It was a picture of him sitting on their couch, a picture Mary had loved, a picture that Mary herself had taken. This photo was the one anchor to his sanity. If she didn't exist, who took the picture? This singular anomaly sent him down a rabbit hole of online research, where he found them, other people with similar stories. people whose significant others had vanished from reality, leaving them to question their own minds. He found a small group, still looking, still believing. One of them, a man named Tom, spoke of a lead in Peru, a shaman who might know what was happening. Desmond's story, which he posted online, is a chilling cry into the void, a testament to a love that is impossible, yet undeniable. Was Mary a shared hallucination, a glitch in the fabric of reality, or something else entirely, something far darker? All that remains is his promise, a vow whispered into the darkness for a woman the world says never was. I'm looking for you. I will find you. Because for Desmond, the scariest reality isn't that he's crazy, it's that he isn't.
Desmond's story comes to an end here, but its mystery has just begun. Was Mary a memory crafted by a mind to cope with a profound tragedy? Or is there a stranger, far darker truth at play, one where reality, as we know it, can be erased for one person while remaining for another? What do you think? Was Desmond escaping a painful truth? Or was he the victim of a paranormal event? Share your own theory with us in the comments section below. We read every single one. If this story haunted you, please support us by hitting that like button. To join us on our next journeys into the heart of the darkest unsolved mysteries, subscribe to Dark Facts, and be sure to ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Until then, you can watch one of the 2 other mysterious cases now on your screen. Each will take you into a different world of unanswered questions. And remember, the scariest stories are the ones that never end.